welcome to the Geeking Poetic Podcast Channel.
On this channel, we have shows and segments that contain adult humor,
bad language, dirty jokes,
and other stuff that is strictly for mature audiences only.
So if you're too young or too sensitive for this kind of material, then please do not watch our channel or our videos.
This channel is not for you.
Thanks much.
And now, on with the show! About to fall over. And welcome to Geeking Poetic Channel, everybody. I'm one of your hosts, Larry Roberts. This super soldier over to my right here is none other than
Megan Guess.
And what are we here to talk about today?
We are here to talk about episode 6
Yep.
of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the finale.
Yeah, but by the end of this, they changed the title of it.
Yeah, we got a whole different show.
Yeah.
It's now Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That is very cool. Yeah, so we made it. We made it through all 6 episodes. Yeah, I mean, this was an intense show. we
Man,
did.
They took off running in this episode.
Oh my gosh, yeah, literally and figuratively.
Well, flying, literally.
Well, and yeah, everything, smashing, flying, poof, lots of
going
action.
on.
For people that may have, I don't know why you would have, but I know there was some people that still felt like they didn't get enough superhero-y action in some of the other moments and episodes of this series. Boy, they made up for it all.
They were saving it all for the first 20 minutes of this.
Oh, yeah, at least 20 minutes. Felt like longer, actually, but it probably was only 20 minutes, but a lot happened in that 20 minutes.
Before we go any further, spoilers.
Yeah, I guess we should let you know. I mean, I don't know how you don't know there's going to be spoilers, but in case you turn this on and you haven't watched it yet, or you're in earshot of somebody who hasn't watched it yet, turn it off, because we are getting
your headphones in.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We're going to really delve into this. It's not going to be a complete recap of the episode, but you know, our general thoughts, pros and cons, and just sum up what we thought of the series as a whole, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We were left hanging wondering what was in that case from Wakanda, and we found out pretty quickly.
We sure did. That was amazing. I love it.
So cool. So cool. Yeah, so it's basically official at this point. Falcon, or as they keep calling him, Black Falcon in the show, which is funny.
That come from the comics?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it doesn't, does it?
Well, yeah, no, he's always been Falcon, but it's always been a misnomer that they keep calling him Black Falcon.
Gotcha.
That's not correct.
Nothing official.
No, exactly. But he is not Falcon nor Black Falcon. He is Captain America.
Or Falcon Captain. Captain Falcon.
No, he's just Captain America.
All right. Somebody tried to push it through.
Yeah.
I tried.
No, I think it's really, really cool. I'm all for this. Yeah. I love the idea.
It was amazing like this. I love the fusion of Falcon and...
Right.
You still got Red Wing.
Oh, you got your Red Wing back. Yeah,
all
that
his
was
little,
nice.
And then all the
and
extra
then those little mini
ones.
Red Wings. Yeah,
right?
What were those about? When
those
he
were so cool.
He attached those to that truck to save those GRC people.
Uh-huh.
That was, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's new.
And the wings coming around him to protect him when
man.
the helicopter came down on him.
That was super awesome.
So badass.
Yeah, there's a lot of badassery in this episode, without a doubt. And I mean, this whole show, I mean, basically from the moment that Sam got the shield at the end of Endgame till now, it's been quite a journey and raising a lot of social and important questions about, what having that responsibility of having that shield means to anybody, really, but especially to somebody like Sam, who, he's not blonde-haired and blue-eyed, and he doesn't have super soldier serum. He's just a man. He's a soldier, but he's the perfect man for the job,
And he proved it.
And he proved it, yeah, because...
It's not just somebody handed them to him. It's like, okay, you are Captain America now. It's like, no, I earned it. Everybody's now... I didn't even ask to be called Captain America. I have the shield, but...
Right.
They said, no, this is Captain America.
Right.
Because he's like, oh, it's Black Falcon. He goes, no, it's Captain America.
Right, yeah. Those
cool.
bystanders, that was awesome. Yeah, that was really cool. And I mean, we got to see what it was like. They tried to find a blonde and blue-eyed, super soldier-y guy, and he couldn't handle it. He's just not the right man for the job. We've definitely found that out in this episode. Although, you know what? John Walker...
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, he did a bit. He helped. He ended up getting in on the fight against the Flag Smashers. He joined Bucky and Cap Falcon. I guess I'm just going to call him Cap at this point. Sam.
Yeah. Whatever.
Right. Good for him. I was glad to see that he got some kind of redemption. Of course, later on, we do get introduced to the whole U.S. agent thing. We see him in the black costume from the comic books. He's obviously working in some capacity for Contessa Val now.
Don't call her Val.
Don't just call her Val. Yeah, they made a joke out of that again. And he seems pretty excited about that. I'm going to be really interested to see what that's all going to turn into. Again, that they could, even though he wasn't really part of the Thunderbolts in the comic book,
could be now.
They could be now. They could write that in and have him leading his own team. And yeah, I'm really interested to see where they're all going with that. And, that's sort of like the thing about this whole show, from episode 1 till 6, is that we already discussed it as soon as the episode was over. We had a little bit of a chat before the camera started rolling and everything. But I've already seen some people today complaining a little bit about this show and about this final episode. And I do agree that there's some things that I would have liked fleshed out better, or maybe just taken in a little bit of a different direction. But overall, you made a really good point, which was about the rebuilding, not rebranding exactly.
Yeah, because you were complaining. It's like, we've had all these movies and everything we've built up. Why are we now feeling like we're back down to unworthy
ground zero again?
Ground zero, yeah. It's like, well, because we are.
Yeah.
Everybody's back from the blip. They have to redefine who they are. So we have to rebuild up all our superheroes and determine who they are now.
Right. And because not only are our superheroes different, I mean, in the case of Sam, he's not even the same superhero anymore. And we look
Bucky's totally different.
Bucky's very different. Wanda is different.
Vision's different.
Like,
see? Everybody has to rebuild. So do we.
Right. And I think that the problem is where, if it's a problem, is just that it requires some patience, I guess, on the part of the audience, because I think so many of us would have been more comfortable with it just carrying on, you know what I mean, with some new big supervillain and some new big, end game kind of thing to get towards. And I mean, I do think that's going to come eventually.
I do too. I think they're building to that.
But it's going to be a long time building. Yeah. And so, because I mean, one of the things that I criticized, no surprise, I was criticizing it in past episodes reviewing this show, is that I didn't really feel very engaged with the whole Flag Smasher story. I understood generally what their point was, but I know you and I kind of had differing opinions on it. I just didn't really feel like they were that much of a threat to begin with. I didn't really feel like, they weren't a nail biter for me. I like to have a little bit more of that, like, nail biter, like, oh my God, are the bad guys gonna possibly get away with this sort of thing? And I just, right off the bat, I was like, no, they're not, because big deal. They're a bunch of, like, teenagers, essentially, almost, that took the super soldier serum. Here's the thing. Super soldier serum, it's not that big of a deal. It's cool. It's good to have, obviously. It helps you be extra strong and more resilient and do things a normal human can't do. But, you're still easy enough to take down. And we saw that all across the board. I mean, we saw Bucky get his ass handed to him in a few moments. We definitely saw John Walker get his ass handed to him, even after taking the serum.
Wasn't that guy killed with the acid bomb?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Vito's going to love that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We have to message him and tell him, acid death, come on.
Well,
you're in now.
Technically, it was mercury death.
Oh.
It was like some sort of mercury smoke.
And she said,
bomb.
among other things.
Yeah, among us. So there could have been acid in there, you know.
Close
So yeah, our co-host that we usually do the shows with, he's all about acid deaths for some reason.
He's an oddball.
He's a strange guy. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so that's the point. Like, he was killed that way. You know, we saw the Flag Smashers ultimately get taken down in this episode. In one case with bullets, in another case with a car bomb and everything. That was the courtesy of Zemo. Thanks for that, Zemo. And
Man of his word.
yeah, he said he was going to take him down, and he did. Even though he's on, you know, the most secure prison on the planet, he still was able to reach out to the world and have his business taken care of. But we're going to talk a little bit more about Zemo in a bit.
Okay.
But my point is, when it comes to the Flag Smashers, that I just wish they would have given them a little bit more of a real story. I didn't really feel like I didn't feel like, you know, the same kind of hatred for him that you normally feel for a villain like a Thanos or a Red Skull or whomever.
You hated him pretty good.
Well, I hated them I thought they were fucking annoying. I would like to have seen more thought go into the Flag Smashers plan, just aside from, like, we're really pissed about the GRC and we got to stop this vote that's going to you know, send refugees back to their countries and everything. But, like,
I don't think they had a plan more than what was in front of their faces.
Exactly.
Which is why they were never going to work.
Right.
I don't think we were ever supposed to think, oh, this is real, they're not going to work. It's like, no, they're half-cocked, and we're making bad decisions. We need Captain America to bring us together, because neither one of us are going to get anywhere.
Yeah.
Because we're all half-assing it here.
Right. Because the Flag Smashers were wrong, but the GRC was also wrong.
Exactly.
And yeah, we did get that whole payoff when Sam faces off with the GRC members and explains to them why all this shit happened and how much of it was their own fault, because they aren't really taking care of the people in the situations they ought to be taking care of.
Mm-hmm. And he even said, it's like, you keep doing what you're doing. Do you really want Carly 2.0?
Right.
That's going to be way worse.
Right.
This is nothing.
Well, anybody be worse than Carly, because Carly just was weak. She was a weak character. I just think they could have done better with that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I mean, they could have done basically the same thing, but I just felt like they could have done better. Plus, I mean, come on, you didn't feel even a little bit shortchanged when we got the really big reveal of the episode, which was your girl, Sharon Carter, being outed as the power broker.
I was right.
Yeah, you called that, like, right off the bat, way before, like, most of the rest of us did. So, but I mean, obviously, it was really interesting when she faces off against Carly and she starts bringing up stuff like, oh, I had all this you had all this promise, I had all these hopes for you, like, we could have worked together, you really upset me by just, like, ripping me off. And I'm like, oh, I want to know more of that story.
I'm sure it's coming.
Well,
we're not done with her yet. This is just starting.
Well, as far as Sharon goes,
Yeah.
but I would like to have known more about Carly being involved with Sharon and the power broker and that whole thing. I just feel like it was, I'm sorry, it was just a little flimsy. It was a little kind of throwaway, kind of like, well, like you said to me, just like a means to get to the end kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I just would like to have seen more of it. Now, let me interject here. I'm going to bring up something. This is just a rumor that I heard. I don't know how, like, legit this is. So don't put any stock into this. People can look it up and if, you know, after I talk about it and see if there's anything more to it. But I heard through the grapevine that when they were doing the script and when they had originally started to do the show, they were planning on doing more with the Flag Smashers, and they were going to do more threatening stuff, and there was going to be a lot more depth to that whole part of the story, and that they elected to kind of simmer that down and trim away some of that supposedly because of other things that have been going on in the world since in 2020 until now even, that I don't know exactly what it was they were talking about doing, but certain threats or certain level of it that they felt like maybe given things going on with the pandemic and a lot of
the right time for that.
social unrest and various things, that's been going on, that they said, we need to just kind of chill this out a little bit and everything. So if that's the case, then okay, then I guess I get it,
Because maybe this was supposed to be 9 episodes like WandaVision was, and since they had to cut that all out,
That's
it's
a
down
good
to
point.
6.
Yeah, it's a good point, because I don't understand why they did just do 6 episodes. Why there's not like a consistency here. Why
Unless
make
that's it.
Yeah, why make, because in some ways I felt like WandaVision almost was like a little bit dragged out at times.
Right.
Where I was like, you could have condensed this a little more. And then this, I felt like, oh, there was way more.
I
you
want
could
way
have
more
done.
of this.
There's a lot of fleshing out that could have gone on with this. But we did get to see things wrapped up. We did get to see something of a wrap up as far as.
It was a pretty nice little bow. I was surprised.
Yeah, with Bucky for one thing. Like we got to see that he finally made amends, of sorts. Obviously, it was really sad seeing him sit down with his Asian friend, having to tell him about how he killed his son and everything. And yeah, I'm glad. I being kind of wimpy about it, I'm glad they didn't
Go into more.
Yeah, flesh that out even more, because I think I would have been really upset, because it's like, when he goes and he's staring in the window and sees the girl in the restaurant and his friend after he told him, and he just kind of sadly has to walk away. It's like, poor Bucky, man, not fair to poor Bucky. Nothing that he did was his choice at all.
But he has to live with that, because it was.
He does.
He still did it.
No, yeah.
Even though it wasn't his choice, he still did it, and he's got to live with that guilt. I'm sure he goes to that coffee shop and stands out there just to check on that guy all the time.
I hope so. That would be nice.
I could see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll see more of that. Maybe something more will come of that. We did also get to probably my favorite part of the whole thing was we did get to see some wrapping up of sorts, some justice for Isaiah Bradley. That was awesome.
I almost cried there.
Sure, of course, so you should.
That was
because,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, because it just showed that Sam is a man of his word, because not only did he get Sharon her pardon that he promised her, but he also ended up basically getting the credit due to Isaiah and everything. And now Isaiah is part of the Captain America memorial there in the museum and stuff. And that was great. And that's exactly what should have happened. I mean, obviously Isaiah is due way more than just a statue and a mention in a museum. But
it's a start.
But given the situation,
he's not forgotten now, because before he was just completely forgotten. He was erased from history.
He was erased, and that's
now
the worst.
He's not.
Yeah, and that was definitely
And now people can look into that and maybe learn more about him.
Exactly. So that whole part, loved it. Fucking 10 out of 10 for that.
Yeah,
it's great.
Absolutely.
Same with just generally with Sam and his realization. I already know, because I've seen some people complaining about his whole speech kind of thing he gives on TV when he's talking to the GRC and he's going off to them about, A, you're not taking care of the people, you're not doing the right thing. B, don't tell me I don't understand, because I'm a black man in this country that now has this burden on my shoulders, like it or not, to carry out this job as Captain America.
Not to mention his family's dealing with the blip.
Right, exactly.
So he knows.
Right. So I know people.
Both sides.
I know some people complained about that. Said, "Oh, it was getting so preachy and everything," and I don't agree.
I thought it was just right.
I thought
it needed to happen. That was his whole point.
Yeah, I agree. I think it.
And it happened in front of the cameras, because he's like, okay, he doesn't agree with them. He said that I don't agree with the flag smashers. I don't think they're terrorists. I don't agree with them. But I don't agree with you either. You are both wrong. We have to meet somewhere else. in the
Yeah, and
middle.
they have to understand that they created each other
exactly.
in the worst way possible.
And
So
it's televised, so the whole world's going to know now they can count on him
correct.
to have everybody's back.
Correct.
Do the right thing.
And doing that on the news like that, I think the other reason why they added it in there in that way was because I'm sure that this diffused a lot of the people out there who might have been leaning towards the side of the flag smashers.
Right.
And feeling
Exactly.
like all hope was
Because
lost.
they don't feel heard.
Right.
And now they have a voice.
Exactly. So a lot of the things, I want to address this too, a lot of the things that I've seen people complaining about, whether it was that or even some assholes that are complaining about, oh, now we've got, not even just because he's a black man, but just complaining about like now there's somebody else that's supposed to be Captain America. That's weird. And, that seems really awkward. Honestly,
we've gotten to Sebastian Stan being Captain America.
well, I was just going to say, honestly, people that say that, here's the thing. You don't read the comics, clearly. Because in the comic books, this has happened a bunch. I'm just saying, for people that feel like they're tinkering too much, they're really not. They're actually, I'm surprised that they're staying pretty true to the nature of a lot of these characters. Even Sharon Carter, because there's questionable things about Sharon Carter in the comic book. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so this isn't anything outlandish or blasphemous to the, comic book nerds or anything. I feel like this is all right in line with what we should expect and appreciate. So we already mentioned a couple of things, but if you had to pick, say, pick a few, however many you want, of your favorite moments, not only of the finale, but of the entire series, what would you say is some of your favorite moments from this series?
Well, clearly the therapist, when they have to go knee to knee.
And that was awesome that
she came back
a little. She didn't get to talk.
She just slammed the book down or anything, but it had a book in there.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool that Bucky gave her his book
He's done
and
with
was
it.
like, I'm all done. Thanks. Thank you, doctor. Because he was so negative about having to do the therapy. And obviously now he realizes how important it was. I thought that was really cool.
So I love the therapy office.
Right.
I love the whole boat montage.
Oh, yeah. In the
That
last
was cute.
episode,
Yeah,
that was great.
Super cute.
Yeah.
I loved Falcon in the helicopter scene in this episode.
Yeah, and that
he's
was
like going in the water and like
right. And that
so cool.
Right, and that was cool because it was like tying it all up, because the very first thing we saw in this series was him going up against
in a
helicopters and stuff.
I didn't even think of that.
Right, when he first goes up against George Backrock and everything. So that was pretty damn cool. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I loved all that. I loved, like I said, I loved Isaiah's whole story arc. I loved the reveal of Sam as Captain America in that badass suit, and just him handling everything with dignity and being level-headed about it all and all that. I really liked that. Of course, I liked seeing Carly get killed because I couldn't stand her. I know I'm being a jerk, but I'm just...
Well, Sharon had to kill her because she didn't want them to know Power Broker.
Well, and that was what I was just going to say, is that I'm glad that the way they did it with Carly was that in her final moments, she sort of realized that it was a mistake, that she had made mistakes, and that she didn't just die because like Bucky ripped her head off or something like that, or stupid John Walker did it or something. I like the fact that there was a purpose to her death on the show because
she couldn't reveal.
She had to be silenced, because she would have, blown Sharon's cover and everything. That's that's pretty cool. I like that it ended that way. Of course, I have to mention one of my favorite things of the entire series was Zemo.
Yeah, Zemo. Yeah.
I thought
he's amazing.
He's just great.
I love Zemo. I'm supposed to hate him, but I love him.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, he's a bad guy. I mean, no two ways about it.
He's bad.
But I really think, in comparison to the whole like flag smasher story and how some of their motivations just seemed real cloudy, like not very clear through a lot of it. You know exactly what Zemo is about. You know, you may not agree with him, but you know exactly what Zemo is about. You know why he's doing what he's doing. I mean, this man, he's a baron. He's rich. He could be living opulently, but he actually did what he did, and he's paying the price for it now and everything because he believes so strongly in, you know, taking down these heroes, not wanting superpowered heroes or villains running amok. I mean, he has a point because look at all the fucking trouble
They just caused.
that it's caused. Even sometimes when the heroes have not meant to cause trouble, they do. So I'm not saying I totally agree with Zemo. Obviously, he's still wrong, and the way he goes about things are wrong. But I get that character so much more now than I did before, and I really like what Daniel Bruhl has done with the character, what he's added to it. He added more personality to it. So that's probably my favorite thing. And then aside from that, like, yeah, you brought up the whole thing with the boat montage and all that. I just love, and it was what I was the most excited about as soon as I heard they were going to do this show. I love the camaraderie and even the butting heads and
all of
just
it.
the whole chemistry between Sam and Bucky. Like, that is just the best.
I agree.
And I want more of it.
I agree.
I
I
think
hope they do a second season.
I really do too. Or, yeah, I mean, maybe they could do it somehow where seasons come out in between, you know, movies and stuff, so that even if it doesn't come out exactly, you know, 10 months apart or 12 months apart. For example, we could just have a little bit more of that, even if it's another 6-episode thing, to tie storylines together.
Exactly.
So overall, what was your thought about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I loved it. I loved everything about it.
Okay.
I have no complaints.
Wow. No complaints. Because we definitely had some criticisms about WandaVision, even
We
though you
did.
loved that too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I thoroughly, really enjoyed this whole series. I thought everything worked together. Even the flag smashers, they didn't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it didn't bother you as much as it bothered me, but that's okay.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like they're a means to an end. They're not the big bad guy that we need to really worry about. They're just
No, I don't even
help
need...
build the story.
I don't even need a big bad guy. I just need to feel that the antagonist is somebody to give a shit about. I just didn't care at all about the antagonists, which were, you know, the flag smashers. I would have just been fine if that's the way it was, just hearing all the personal stories going on with all the other characters and stuff. Like I said, they just felt annoying to me, and I was like, okay, go away. I want to get back to what's going on with Walker. I want to know more about what's going on with Sharon. We got so little of Sharon. And well,
That's just a teaser for us, I think.
yeah, and I guess we could probably end it on the whole Sharon thing, because since it all ends on Sharon, she gets her pardon.
She sure does. She gets her old
But-
job back.
Yeah, she gets her old job back, but
She's
then
like, sure, I'll take that. Thank you.
but only so that she can steal government secrets and
Secrets.
property and sell it off to high bidders, apparently, as we saw in the after credits scene. Man, Sharon, what are you doing?
She's a bad guy.
Yeah, she's the
Duh.
bad guy. So exactly. Man, Billie Eilish and you got something going there. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it definitely still left us with some nice cliffhangers with Sharon's story, what's going to happen with US Agent
Yeah.
and Val. You know, obviously
What's next for Bucky?
what's
and
next for
Sam?
Bucky and Sam. Just hopefully more avenging now. Enough amending going on, you know.
Let's go kick some
back.
ass.
Yeah, let's get back to some fucking avenging, man. I can't wait. Can't wait. I hope they show up in, like, we've got the things coming out with Black Panther 2 and Wakanda spin-off things and stuff. I'd love to see one or both of them appear in that to some degree. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. Yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this show. I'm probably going to watch it again soon. I'll watch, now that I know how it's wrapped up, I'm going to go back and just watch it, binge it all together again so I can catch all the little things maybe we missed.
Oh, I'm sure there's tons.
Oh, I'm sure there is. It wouldn't be Marvel if it wasn't. And that's it. So it's been our pleasure talking about this with all of you. As always, we want to know, what do you think? What was not only your impressions of episode 6, but of the whole show? Did it live up to your expectations? Are there things that you wished would have happened? Or do you have theories about where it's going to go next? We want to know. Leave comments and all that stuff below. And we will be back. Obviously, we're going to have all the other content we normally do on Geeking Poetic, but we'll be back, in about a month or so, I think.
Yeah, just a little over a month.
Yeah, and we'll be
for
back.
Loki.
Right. We got to talk about old Loki.
That should be fun.
That looks like a lot of fun. So far. It's timey-wimey. It gets all into crazy
it's
time
gonna hurt my
travel.
head, but
we love it, though.
right.
Yeah, we're all about time travel stuff here at Geeking Poetic. So we'll be back to talk about that. And peace out, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.